Just complete and total transparency with you guys. This is my fourth video of the day. I've been binging Netflix since 6 a.m. this morning. It is 11:31 at night. I'm releasing this on Saturday morning. I am completely exhausted, so if I pass out, call 911, but yeah, it might be like 12 hours too late, so who knows? Who knows? What is up, Flick fans, and welcome back to my channel. Don't actually call 911. I am completely fine. I just watched season 2 of Castlevania. Castlevania is a show that I just recently got into. I watched season 1 like a month ago. I rewatched the episodes because it's only 4 episodes, like 22 minutes long. It's very short. I really liked season 1. I thought it was a really good setup for what we got in season 2. The major complaint here is, yeah, it's only 4 episodes, 20 minutes long. It's very short. I consider it more like a prequel to season 2, which in my mind is kind of like season 1 because this is where it went down, man. This is the story. This is the payoff we've been waiting for since the first season. Me, like a month ago. If you guys watched it when it first came out, you've been waiting quite a while. And I don't know how many people are interested in this show, so if you guys like this show, start some comments down in the comments section. Let me know what you like about it, what you don't like. I'm going to keep this review spoiler free. If you think I should do a spoiler review, let me know in the comments down below. But we're going to keep this just in case anybody who is watching this video hasn't seen it. I'm going to give you guys my general thoughts. If you guys don't know how my reviews work, I like to talk about the good, the bad, and then give you my score. I did Sabrina. I did a Netflix movie. We're reviewing Titans. So many things going on my channel. And then Sunday, tomorrow, is my 10,000 subscriber, a little fancy thing I got going on for you. It's also a new Netflix show called Bodyguard. I've had multiple people tell me I should review it. It's a British show. People are saying it's awesome. Let me know if I should do that. But right now, Castlevania, let's get into the good. So a vampire hunter fights to save a besieged city from an army of otherworldly creatures controlled by Dracula. It's just, that premise alone is what got me into the show in the first place, but it's not just that guy, right? At the end of season 1, you see they create that trifecta. You have a group of people traveling to take down Dracula, and oh, does everything come to a head at the end of this season. I really enjoyed this season. Now, it is definitely a little slow. Some people are going to have complaints that there's not too much that happens of major importance in certain episodes. There are certain things that happen that are very grand in scale. The fights, the actions, the blood, the gore, the violence. If you guys have seen an episode of this show, you know it's very violent. There are heads being ripped off. There are limbs being torn apart. That's just what Castlevania is. I have accepted that. I think it's really cool to see. The animation style is just gorgeous. They do such a good job at making this something that you want to come back just for the visuals alone, and then the story on top of that is so interesting. Now, I know Castlevania is based on many prior properties. I have never really been invested in those properties. Netflix is what really introduced these characters to me, and I was on board for those guys throughout season 1 and definitely throughout season 2 because they're fleshed out so much more. And one of the more interesting parts to me is not just Dracula, who is the biggest hoss cat I have ever seen in this series. I will not spoil what happens to him at the end, but there's just like, how in the world do you take this guy down? He is OP. He is the definition of OP in every possible aspect. From episode 1 in season 1, when he's coming down and his big giant face in the clouds, that was scary enough, but what he does in this season, it's just like, how do you beat this guy? You can't. Not a guy. He's not a guy. He's a vampire. You just can't beat him. This might be the most powered up and ready to go version of Dracula I have ever seen, and this may be one of my favorite incarnations. I think the voice of Dracula is perfection. Graham McTavish, wherever you are, just sleep soundly tonight knowing that you have given us the ultimate version of Dracula. Your voice is perfectly suited. Keep coming back as Dracula in whatever you can, whether it's video games or TV shows or Castlevania. I don't care. You are such a great Dracula. I love your voice. And really, the voice cast in general is so good on this show. If it didn't match up, if it didn't work, I think that would take away from the experience. But since you have a good voice cast, you care even more about the characters. Also, the dialogue is really good. This is something I don't find myself saying very often for animated Netflix originals, right? Sometimes the dialogue, it's a little lacking. But right now in Castlevania, I can tell you that it has some of the best dialogue that an animated, and this is not a show for kids. 1000%. If you're a kid and you're watching this, first of all, don't let your parents catch you watching it because you're gonna get in trouble. I can promise you that. But second of all, I just feel like Castlevania is a show for adults. If you're an an adult, or not even an adult, just a teenager. It is the perfect audience to soak all of these things in, especially if you've played the video games, if you're caught in the lore. This is going to expand on that. Castlevania, I can't preach this enough. It's such a cool TV show, and I feel like it's so underrated because I haven't really heard that much about it prior to myself watching season 1. And season 2 kicks off with a bang. You get a flashback of Dracula's wife. I love how they fleshed out that story even more, and we got a lot with Dracula and his generals, the people underneath him, and some heads that were budding there. I thought that was a really interesting aspect of the story. There are some people that maybe don't want to be there, do want to be there. They support Dracula, but maybe Dracula doesn't feel the same way about them. A lot of clashing of heads. At the end of the season, you can see that conflict kind of play out, and the resolution is very satisfying. A really interesting character for me is Godbrand. The guy just takes so many people out there. I think it's in episode 4 when he goes on his little rampage, but there is a scene between he and Dracula where Dracula just lights him up, man. What was the line? I believe it was like, I'm gonna slit you up the middle and bite your heart out. I'm sitting there like, okay, I don't want to, nobody ever mess with this guy. Speaking of episode 4, it's a very dialogue-heavy episode. There are 3 or 4 episodes like that where I'm just sitting there listening to the dialogue, watching the conversations happen. You know something major is going to happen, but it's not happening on screen. And some people, I think that's going to frustrate you. For me, it was kind of frustrating me for a bit, but then it would kick into gear and I'd sit there and be really entertained. You guys are always asking me, how did you feel while watching this? Well, I was entertained. I had fun. I had a blast while watching all of the action scenes, some of the coolest animated action scenes I have seen in a long time. The way that they film this, listen to me. The way they draw this up, it's so cinematic. The characters, you're invested in them, so you're rooting for them, and when they're taking people out and exploding people's heads and cutting people's necks, you're like, I shouldn't be excited for this. But I am. And before we go to the negatives, let me just talk about episode 7, because episode 7 is really for me like the finale to this season. Episode 8 was more kind of set up for the next season, but just know going into episode 7, this is where all your stuff's going to happen, right? These are the fights that you want. This is the battle that you want to see. This is what you're here for. It's the entire reason why you've sat through this entire season, that rhymed, of Castlevania. And those fight scenes toward the end, pretty spectacular. Now, I do have a few negatives. It does slow down during parts of the season. Now, I love when you're having momentum and the momentum keeps going and it carries you all the way through the end of the season. This show, just sometimes the momentum comes to a halt and it doesn't compromise the experience. I always harken back to Stranger Things Season 2, Episode 7. There was so much momentum, and then that episode comes and you're just like, what? Then you have to jump back into the story that you love. Now, this one, there are a few episodes, not episodes, but there were a few moments throughout the season where it kind of comes to a halt, but it always picks right back up, so I can't say that's a major negative. Also, episode 8. I really liked episode 8. I liked some of the resolutions. I liked some of the setup for maybe future seasons, unless Netflix keeps canceling things like American Vandal. I will not forgive you for that. Hashtag bring back American Vandal. But it does the Lord of the Rings Return of the King thing where it fades to black and you think it's over, and then it comes back in, and then it fades to black again after it capitalizes on this other story, and then it comes back in. And while I liked each resolution, it didn't earn fading to black 5 times like Lord of the Rings Return of the King did. I don't know why I keep saying the full name. We were invested in that series for so many hours, so Return of the King earned that. They earned the right to give us as many endings as they want, and while Castlevania is really good, I don't think they've earned that yet, so don't keep doing that. Give me one definitive ending, maybe a little setup for the next season, but don't keep going back and forth. I am excited, don't get me wrong, I just think episode 8 could have been handled a little better. And when that final ending does come, the last time it fades to black, that's emotion. That is pure emotion.
Austin, you got emotional from an animated show?
Yes, I did. Overall, guys, Castlevania, really good show, fun, entertaining, not that much content to sit there and binge. You're in, you're out, and you're ready to go for the next season, and that is the perfect example of something you should watch on Netflix. I'm going to give Castlevania a solid 82%. Definitely flaws in there, but very, very minor. I really enjoyed this series. This is just chalk it up, man. Netflix, they just keep delivering. We've had American Vandal Season 2, we've had Maniac, Haunting of Hill House, Sabrina, Daredevil, Castlevania, my goodness, their resume just keeps expanding. Bring back American Vandal. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Be sure to comment your thoughts on this, whether or not I should do Bodyguard, my 10,000 subscriber video coming Sunday, which is tomorrow. You guys are the absolute best, and I'll catch you very soon.